Hello, my beautiful human. Welcome back to your Shake Up. I am so excited to be recording this episode. Before we dive in, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, to follow it on Spotify. Thank you for leaving a review and rating it and messaging me and sharing it on your story. I cannot stress enough, how much it means to me, but also how much of that supports the podcast to get it out in front of as many other amazing humans and women like yourself. So I can't thank you enough. If you haven't already, please just take 30 seconds to leave a review, subscribe. And also I would love to hear what type of episodes you want me to record. What are things that are holding you back? What are you struggling with? I would love to just take your ideas and literally record episodes on them, because I know that it will help way more people, because you are not the only one that is feeling that way. But let's kick it in. This podcast is a juicy and spicy one. As always, it is called Who the Hell Told You Couldn't Do It? An episode about letting that shit go. And I was just so inspired to create this episode, or to record this episode, because I felt like as we were starting to create new goals and talking a lot about manifesting and taking action and having all of these aspirations and inspirations that come to us, especially going into a new year and beginning a new year, we get a lot of people that just don't get it. I'm just going to call it that. People that just don't get it and maybe don't align 110% with your goals. And so rather than saying, oh, those goals don't align with me, they're telling you that you can't do it, that this is not a good idea. They're giving you all of this negative feedback. And it took me a while to understand how to deal with situations like that, especially being someone that doesn't necessarily love to follow rules that society puts on me, rules that my family puts on me. I just love going with the flow and I just don't like rules. Okay. I don't like them. I set them in the house. We run a very tight ship in this house, but I just don't love when people tell me I can't do this or I can't do that. So it took me a lot to start thinking about how to really understand or translate what people mean when they're telling me, oh, I can't do something. And I put together a little list for you that maybe will hopefully help you deal with people like this and deal with situations that arise like this. So first, have you ever been in a situation where you are so excited about your freaking goal? Okay. You're just so excited. It could be a big health goal. It could be a big business goal, or a big, a new role in your career, or a new business opportunity where you're maybe creating a new product or service. Maybe you want to go on a trip, whatever it is, right? You're so excited and you go and you tell someone and they're like, well, there's no way you can do that. Or someone else is doing that. Why would you do it? Or, ooh, do you think that's a good idea? Have you ever, I just need to just pause this episode and answer yes or no. I've been there and it freaking sucks. It sucks to just feel like you are just deflated by someone else's beliefs, fears, and insecurities. And so when I started thinking about this episode and how I can consolidate all of the different things that happen in my brain and the process that I go through to deal with these people, I was trying to think of how can I put this in a list? And here is kind of what I brain dumped on here. The first thing that I realized is that I needed to be very clear about what I wanted to do, right? Before I started telling the world about the things that I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that I was aligned with that thing. And I wasn't influenced by social media. I wasn't influenced by other people. This is a goal that I have for me. Deep down, I care about this goal. And I realized that If I could align myself 110% with that goal, then I won't be as upset if someone is like, well, you can't do that. Well, that's crazy. And doubles down on this idea of, oh, I can't do it, or it's just not a good idea. Because it won't matter as long as I'm 100% aligned. So that was kind of like the starting point of making sure that I was so clear about what I wanted to do and what my goal is. Not how to do it, just what I wanted to do. I didn't need to have a whole plan. Like, I just needed to make sure that I was like all in. The second thing is I really needed to make peace with why people can have such a negative outlook on other people's goals and other people's like aspirations. And I realized that it actually has nothing to do with me. When someone is telling me, oh, I can't do something, or that's not a good idea, or that's just their fear and their insecurities that they're trying to project on me, that shit has nothing to do with me. You don't think I can start a business? That's not my problem. Like, what you think of me is none of my business, right? And I literally had to remind myself that the 9 times out of 10, you guys know I love my fake stats, but 9 times out of 10, these people are literally only projecting their own fears, their own insecurities, their own doubts on me. Another side of that is, especially when it came to my parents or family, I realized that it's also a little bit of protection. When someone's telling you, someone that cares about you, all of the negative things that may happen, I've kind of shifted the perception of or perspective of that of I've shifted my mindset to think, okay, they're just trying to protect me because they're so scared that this might not work out and I will be upset or defeated or heartbroken, whatever it is, right? So they're just trying to protect me. So I started giving people more grace when it came to their feedback, when it came to my goal or goals. But again, I really couldn't give that grace until one, I was 100% aligned with what I wanted to do. Two, I made peace with this idea of like, yes, they're trying to protect me, but also maybe they're just insecure and it's their own fears that are projecting on me, you know? And then I started thinking about like, who makes these rules? Who decides who can do what and who can't do this? Like, who is more capable of running a business versus this person? This is like all societal bull crap, fake rules. They're just opinions. They're literally people's opinions. And so to tie it all together, when you're thinking about creating your goals, when you're thinking about going after something, I want to kick it off by just saying that there are going to be people that don't get it. There are going to be people that are not going to support you. There are going to be people that are going to tell you that's not a good idea, that you're not going to be able to do it. They're going to, lean into the negative aspects of it, of like why it's not going to work out. Whoever those people are, whether they have good intentions or not, it does not matter. Your goals, your intentions are your goals and they're your intentions. As long as you are 110% aligned with those goals, you can then start making peace with this idea of these people are just projecting their fear and insecurities on me, and also give them some grace for maybe hopefully trying to just protect you from the worst case scenario. Now, if you've listened to our past episodes about fear and really understanding worst case and best case scenario, this all ties in together, right? Like, worst case scenario is that people are going to doubt you. Best case scenario is that you succeed and they come around and they're like, oh, I knew you could do it, right? But to wrap it all up, I want you to figure out what it is that you want to do, okay? So for this shakeup, I want you to figure out what it is that you want to do and really get clear about that goal. And then I want you to message me. Tell me what that goal is. And I want to help you figure out where to start. Because the one thing is, I'm not going to tell you it's a bad idea. Okay. Like, some of the best entrepreneurs have to be a little bit delusional, and I'm all the way delusional at times. But seriously, I'm going to support you 110%. And I really want to know what those goals are. And let's figure out where you can start. If it is a health goal, if it's a business goal, if it's a career goal, like whatever it is, message me, let me know what that goal is, and let me help you figure out where to start. Don't forget, like, this is a reminder. This whole episode is about letting that shit go. Like, don't let other people's fear and insecurities be projected on you in a way that it holds you back and does not allow you to actually go after those dreams. You got to do it anyway, girl. All right. I love you so much. I will see you next week. Don't forget to listen to our Wednesday episode. Love you. Bye.